America telling me welcome home, Canada telling me welcome home, but you where I born go ask me how long I staying. You find that making sense?
Ride Along Live.
Yes, Junior. I think you're being somewhat unfair.
I've been unfair.
Yes.
Thank you. I like your premise. I like your premise. So let's conversate. Go ahead.
The reason being,
yes,
most of the people that call your program, and I agree with your point of view, of people that live out of Grenada. Whether they have a Grenadian passport or not, they live out of Grenada.
Sir, how do you know? Stop right there. Let's take it part by part. How do you know I live out of Grenada? I have a house here in Grenada, I have business in Grenada, I have bank account in Grenada.
I never said you.
No, I'm talking about me.
The callers that call.
I'm talking about me. Everybody else, nobody else is here to defend themselves. Nobody else is here to defend themselves. So whoever called before, they're not here. It's me and you.
No.
So you tell me I sung it unfair. So go ahead. Start from there.
No, well, I started my conversation with the callers, the people that call.
Yes, but you can't because they're not here to defend it. They're not here to defend themselves. They're not here to defend themselves. So it happened to me. So you tell me, let us communicate, let us conversate about this. The caller is not here to defend themselves. So you can say whatever they want about them, and they're not able to say left or right.
But let me ask you, where do you live?
Sorry?
Where do you live?
Where do I live?
Yeah.
I live here in Grenada. I live right here in Grenada.
You live here in Grenada.
Yeah, but you can't even ask me that question. You can't even ask me that question. Are you an immigration officer too?
No.
Okay. So I'm a Grenadian. Yeah, so asking where do I live is getting into my personal business. If you want to know where I live, the information is on the document that I presented. So if you ask me that question, I would say, look at it right there. My information is on the paper. Right?
No, but you see that you didn't mention that the person asked you, or the officer, whoever it is, asked you if you live in Grenada or in the US. You never said that. So I'm assuming now that they would have seen that you would have put your home address as probably the US.
No. Grenada. Not the US. Because I'm not traveling here as an American, I'm traveling here as a Grenadian.
Yeah, but you said it, I go with what you said on the program and what you provided. You provided that you have both a Grenadian and a US passport.
But I never presented the US passport to Grenadian authorities. I only presented my Grenada credentials. I only presented my Grenada passport. I don't come here with my American passport to say, well, I'm presenting that. The document that the gentleman have in his hand, it says, Junior George, Grenadian passport information. That is what he have. That's the information that he has, right? So why are you asking me how long I'm staying? Make that make sense for me. Help me make that make sense.
No, well, I don't know I cannot say why he would ask you that if your information shows that your address is a Grenadian.
Exactly, precisely my point.
He would ask you. I could see, well, somebody mentioned about asking how long you've been out or something you mentioned when last year was here.
He asked me that too. And I said, that's not your business. I was here last week. I was here a week before. I was here a couple of days ago. I came in on a boat. I came in on a plane. I came into Carriacou. Whatever, it don't matter.
Well, you see, the thing is, whenever law enforcement asks a question, you may not necessarily understand the reasoning behind it. I mean, you might find it intrusive.
No, it is intrusive because you see the thing about, let me tell you this. Law enforcement, there are regulations and there are procedures. Just like if a lawyer, just like if a police pull you over and he went and he started searching through your vehicle. He can't do that. He don't have the right. He don't have a search warrant to search your vehicle. But we allow it to say, okay, yeah, go ahead and search your vehicle.
I agree.
So because they're law enforcement, they cannot. They don't have autonomy to do anything and everything that they want. We feel intimidated by them because we feel that they're more educated and know the law, but they don't, because that question is supposed to be omitted from the vocabulary whenever somebody comes to Grenada with a Grenada passport. Omitted. Don't ask that question.
No, I totally disagree with you.
Okay.
Because I would start back from where I started.
Right.
Most of the people that come in on your program tonight in support of your point of view.
No, they're not.
Right.
They don't have to support my point of view. I want different perspective.
No,
like you
I'm
presenting
saying-
a different perspective. I like that. But let's have a debate. Let's have a conversation.
But what they've presented is that they live out of Grenada.
But
They don't live here.
well, how you know they don't live here?
Whether or not they are.
How do you know they don't live here? How you know they don't live here? What's your premise?
I listened to your program and I heard hold on. The woman that called a while ago and she mentioned about Kobe, she said, based on what she said, it appears that she lives out of Grenada.
But okay, listen.
The previous caller also
Yeah. Go ahead.
about relatives they don't want to come to Grenada or whoever. These people live out of Grenada. So whenever they enter Grenada, whether you have a Grenadian passport or not, you enter in Grenada, the law enforcement authorities, be it customs, immigration, whoever, they have a duty to find out, to ascertain.
They
Exactly.
don't.
Well,
No,
listen,
they
if
don't.
somebody is
No, they
coming here
don't.
for
You know
one
why I
day-
know that? You know why I know that
No,
is
hold
not
on,
correct?
If somebody is coming here for one day,
Right.
then you would ascertain as to profile, well, what they would be traveling with.
No. You know why I know that is not correct?
No.
Do you know
understand?
how I know that is not correct? Because I spoke to someone.
Oh,
I spoke to someone that is in his superior, someone who is at the higher level to this gentleman. And that is not in the procedure to ask returning nationals with a Grenadian passport how long they stay. What am I supposed to answer? How am I supposed to answer the question? I see you, Butu, wrote
You're supposed
a
to answer
responded.
honestly.
No, honestly with what? Because I told you, I came in with a one-way ticket. I came in with a one-way
You're
ticket.
supposed- You answer honestly. If you don't know how long, because
No,
you see, you got in the wrong thing. It's not the customs officer, the immigration officer, whoever it be. Is not trying to tell you, listen, you cannot stay here more than 10 days. So how long you're going to be here? That's not you see, you have to understand the reasons for the question. And
The question don't have a reason. The question don't have a reason. The question don't have a reason, caller.
You may not understand the reason behind it.
Of course I don't understand the
you
reason.
see,
So that's why I'm
you want to
questioning
do-
it. That's why I'm questioning the reason for the question.
Once you do profiling,
Uh-huh.
all of that is part of profiling.
Well,
You assess.
No. That
Because
is
the
not,
same
not it's
question
not.
is asked-
Caller, it's not. I'm sorry to disagree. I mean, Go ahead.
to visitors, to foreigners, people who come in here. as tourists or
Exactly,
whatever
caller.
they come here.
You hitting the nail on the head.
It is-
You are hitting the nail
it's
on the
same
head.
question is asked of them.
Listen, you're hitting the nail on the head, you know. Visitors who come in here, right? Visitors.
you-
This is what I'm saying. No,
you-
hold
coming here.
on, caller. Hold on. Listen to this. Visitors that are coming here are visitors. They do not carry a Grenadian passport. You have to ascertain how long they're staying, how long they plan to stay. In fact, a visitor that's coming to the shores of Grenada, they shouldn't come with a one-way ticket. They have to have a return ticket. If you go to buy a ticket on JetBlue and you book a one-way ticket, they go say, make sure you have a return ticket or you have nationality of the country. Otherwise, they go tell you, a pop-up will come up and say, you can't do that. So you have to ask visitors how long they stay, and it just makes perfect sense. But how you go ask me how long I stayed, especially in my case, where I don't know how long I stayed.
Then that's your answer.
No.
Then
My
what's your
answer is
answer?
don't ask me that question because I could turn around and ask him the same question. How long you staying? How about if I turn around and say, how long you staying here? How about that? How long you staying here? How long you plan to stay here? Since we are equal, you are a citizen, I am a citizen, my neighbor string buried right up in Union, Richmond up there. How long you staying here? What makes you more of a Grenadian than me? If I have a Grenadian passport.
You see, and I think that's the issue you having.
What's the issue?
That's the issue you having. Look at it from a profiling point of view.
No.
Rather than.
Let me ask you a question. Why is it?
You just looking at it as you as a citizen of Grenada.
Yes.
You have a Grenadian passport.
Yes.
So you feel that question shouldn't be asked of you.
It shouldn't.
But you have to look at it as listen, these are law enforcement people. They're doing their job.
No.
Their duty.
Caller, let me tell you something. I travel all over the world, I travel all over the world. I have a US passport, I have a Canadian passport, and I have a Grenadian passport. Whenever I go to the US and I travel to the US, you know the first thing that they tell you? You know the first thing that they tell you? Welcome home. Canada, welcome home. Even in Ghana, Africa, they're telling you welcome home because of your complexion. So if I travel so much and I go all over the world, but when I come home where I was born, you ask me how long I stay, doesn't that seem kind of insultive to you? Wouldn't you say that don't make no sense to you? America, where I don't even born, I became a US citizen, and America telling me welcome home, Canada telling me welcome home, but you where I born go ask me how long I staying, you find that making sense?
No, I think once you understand the reasoning behind the question, you get a little less emotional.
No, I'm not. It's not supposed to be asked.
No.
But it's not supposed to be asked. It's not supposed to be asked. Point blank, period. Don't ask me that. Don't ask me that. Don't ask me that. You're too damn fast. How long I say not your damn business?
Ride Along Live.